Hello and welcome to Down Cathedral in Downpatrick in County Down. So we are here visiting somebody who is well known around the world, unlike some of my usual funeral or graveyard visits. This is the grave of St. Patrick. So this is the reputed grave of St. Patrick. He was a Welsh individual who came to Ireland in I think 432 AD to spread Christianity across Ireland and drive all the snakes out, and then get celebrated on the 17th of March every year. And this is the grave of St. Patrick. So this large granite mound or stone was placed here, I think in 1900, to mark the official resting place of St. Patrick. So you see the little inscription here, the Celtic cross and Patrick. So this reads, St. Patrick was born in Britain. At 16 he was captured and taken to Ireland, where he was sold into slavery. He escaped to France, but one night in a dream he heard the voices of the Irish calling him back. How Patrick answered that call and brought Christianity to Ireland is one of the most splendid chapters in our history. According to tradition, the remains of St. Patrick, with those of St. Bridget and St. Columba, who is also known as Columkill, were reinterred on this site by John D. Courcy in the 12th century, thus fulfilling the prophecy that the three saints would be buried in the same place. So that is the inscription. The family burial ground of Lachlan and Patrick. And then somebody else got their family plot located just by. But this is the grave of St. Patrick, St. Bridget and St. Columba or St. Columkill, located in Downpatrick in County Down, which would obviously give the town its name. And this is the cathedral, which we'll take a look inside now in a few minutes. But St. Patrick, celebrated and remembered around the world on the 17th of March, and also very closely associated with Irish culture and Irish history. Some people get a laugh in the comments saying that he's born in Northern Ireland, but he is still on the island of Ireland. But he was a Welshman. And then St. Bridget comes from my part of the country, or is celebrated mostly in my part of the country in County Kildare. And then St. Columba, I think he set up a monastery in Glendalough. Now, I could be wrong. There you go, St. Patrick's grave. Now, we'll take a walk over. Let's see if we'll take a quick look inside the church and the cathedral. Now, this cathedral dates from the 11th century, I think. So there's lots of different religious institutions took over. So this is St. Patrick's cross, the remains of the cross. See, there's 4 pieces of a little story outside. These were the doors are automatic. 3 more grand. legacy was in ruins and then redone. And while I'm here, I said I'd do a quick history of St. Patrick. And it's not history I know too well myself, but St. Patrick was a Welsh, he probably was a Welsh child or Welsh labourer, and he was captured either by Irish pirates or Irish raiding parties and taken back to Ireland, where he was forced into slavery and to work on the farms. And it's supposedly around Antrim, or at least the north of Ireland, where he was mainly based. And eventually he escaped, made his way to France, and became a bishop. So I'm not 100% sure of what way the faiths worked back then, so if it was just one church or if there was Protestant churches and Catholic churches. But whatever way it worked, he came back to Ireland to spread Christianity and drive the snakes away. Now, the snakes might have been a euphemism for pagan beliefs. And he set up monasteries around the country, first starting in Antrim, I believe, or Armagh, I think it was Armagh, and spread the Christian faith across Ireland, turning Ireland from a pagan, mostly pagan country into a Christian country. And then eventually that's why he's remembered as a patron saint of Ireland. And then eventually he obviously passed away, and then it's said that he was buried here. So that is a quick rundown of why St. Patrick is so important in Ireland. But then with the St. Patrick's parade and celebrations, it was always a deeply religious event in Ireland. It was actually Irish Americans who started turning it into a big party, and then Irish people in Ireland thought that was actually a better idea than keeping it as a strictly religious affair. And that's why St. Patrick's Day spread around the world along with all the Irish people. And there you have it, and that's St. Patrick's grave.